13-year-old homeschooler who do these YouTube videos for fun. And as you can see in my background here, I have a lot of posters going on, which automatically kind of means that I'm a big fangirl. You see Little Women, Daisy Jones and the Six, Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, Gilmore Girls, and Pride and Prejudice, and also Percy Jackson. Actually, Lizzie McAlpine right there, and Gracie Abrams. I'm in a lot of different fandoms that have nothing in common sometimes too. But I think one of the most surprising thing you'd probably hear from me, as you can see me like this, is the fact that I'm actually a big Jurassic World fan as well. I've been a big dinosaur nerd since I was a lot younger. That's one of the topics I talk to my friends about. And me and my brother have pretty much watched Jurassic World our whole lives. The first movie was released in 2015, which was the same year my brother was born. So he's been hearing it his whole life, and I've been hearing it about 9 years straight. So you can believe me when I talk about these things that are definitely learned by the tremendous amount of rewatching the same movies over and over again. The thing is, I'm not here to talk about Jurassic World or Jurassic Park. I'm here to talk about a sequel, a spin-off animated TV show, which probably sounds a little intriguing in a way because it will sound like it's for kids. That's just the thing. I think the entire show is scarier than any Jurassic movie we've ever seen. I mean, don't get me wrong, Fallen Kingdom scares the hell out of me as a 7-year-old girl. Now, what I mean when I say that the TV shows are actually scarier, I don't only mean the dinosaurs, but I mean the characters. If you have watched Chaos Theory, tell me directly you are not terrified of the evil Wizzle lady raptor thing. She looks scary as hell. I actually had a nightmare about that. Now today I'm going to talk about season 3 and what I expect will happen in season 3, and also just going to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth in general and how I think it could work, because I don't think we know much information about that yet. Let's rule out the timeline here so nobody gets confused. Also, a little note here, my brother directly hopes for me to make this video because it will be one of my videos that he'll watch, because yes, he doesn't watch anything I post. But this is about dinosaurs, so he'll watch it. So I'll just do this timeline thing for my audience, and especially for my brother as well, because he gets the time and confuses a lot. So, Jurassic World came out in 2015, which also takes place in 2015, so that's just an easy one to follow, correct? And then Camp Cretaceous, the first season came out in 2020, and the rest of that came out pretty much in the same time frame. In 2 years, we got 5 seasons in total. Because it is an animated show, it takes a lot less time to do when it comes into terms with, creating dinosaurs out of CGI. But yes, we got 5 seasons, and I'd say the first one happens directly at the same time. So Jurassic World 2015 and the first season of Camp Cretaceous happens at the same time. And then season 2, season 3 works on a little different place. By the end of season 1, Jurassic World was already evacuating, and everyone got on the ship except for 6 kids only. The last few episodes of season 3, I think, I don't even know. I think it's the last or one of the last few. There's a scene where eventually Sammy, Ben, and Kenji gets on a helicopter, and they ask how long has it been since Jurassic World evacuated, and the flyer, she says it's been 6 months. I don't actually know if Jurassic World sets what month Jurassic World is set in. If it's the same way as it was released, then it will be set in June 2015. So if that's the case, then just 6 months after Jurassic World evacuated, it was set exactly in early 2016. If that's the case, then it will make season 4 and 5 set during the time of the first few months of 2016. Now, by the end of the Camp Cretaceous show, we'd have a time jump of 2 years, which was set in 2018. We know it sets in 2018 because of the fact that Darius looks out his window and he lives in Northern California, the same place that Lockwood's Manor is set in. So it works in the in the same time frame and in the same place, pretty much. So they live in the same state, right? So he looks out his window and he sees a dinosaur out there in California, which obviously does not sound right. I think it's best to guess that the ending of season 5 sets just during the ending of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is 2018, by the way. A big time jump in 2022, Jurassic World Dominion was released in theaters, and then just this year in May, they released Chaos Theory, which is a show that actually is a prequel to Jurassic World Dominion rather than a sequel, because they have to make the timeline works for Jurassic World Rebirth. The movie is expected in July 2025, so if the timeline of Chaos Theory sets exactly in 2022, then the timeline will lines up perfectly. So Chaos Theory, Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 probably, and then Jurassic World Dominion, and then Jurassic World Rebirth 2025. I know, the timeline's a little bit hard to follow. I think it's also partly because I'm making it hard to follow, but yeah, I do have it written all over the screen, so I hope it makes it easier to understand. Now, let's talk Season 3. I really want to talk about Season 3. I'm absolutely just excited. I need it right now, actually. Like, I don't even want to wait a few months before that happens. I think I'm more excited about Season 3 of Chaos Theory more than I'm excited of Jurassic World Rebirth, honestly. I love that we get 6 characters and they all are collectively very different people, and you know, but at the same time they work together so well, and I think the character development was done really nicely from the first season of Camp Cretaceous to season 2 of Chaos Theory. A lot of these kids have been through traumatic stuff, so I think it works the best if you're gonna kind of water them down a bit on their joyous, on their humor and everything, though it is still kind of funny in a lot of different ways. My brother did have a good time laughing at a lot of parts in season 1 and 2 of Chaos Theory. Let's talk about things I think will happen in season 3. So by the end of season 2, we know that Siona Santos, the broker, will go to Biosyn with Brooklyn. And as we know that Biosyn, their laboratories is set in Italy, so I think it is best that we expect all these things will go down in Italy. In Jurassic World Dominion, we've seen Dodgson on the phone with Siona Santos, so I think it's best if we just kind of assume that this could be the first time they're working together and have like this prequel to how long they've been working together. Chaos Theory is set in the same year of Dominion, so I think it's just kind of best to know that they weren't actually been doing this for that long time. If it is actually set in Italy, I think there is so much chances we'd somehow get another character that is directly involved with Biosyn. I think it is unlikely that we could potentially be seeing Clara Owen in season 3, like as a main plot, but I think it would work well if they do instead of like a cameo by the end of season 3, or even in season 4 and 5 if we do get one, because the events of Dominion and Chaos Theory aren't that far apart. So it is interesting to know how they're gonna work with the time frame of the two shows that almost work in the same direction, but it really doesn't. Because I think one of the things I think a lot of fans kind of agree with is the fact that Dominion was more about bugs than dinosaurs, which doesn't quite sound right personally of a movie that's called Jurassic World. So maybe Chaos Theory could somehow find a way to line that whole thing up and make it, I don't know, balanced out a little bit, so we could get some more stuff about the dinosaurs that already appeared in Dominion, like the Therizinosaurus, for example. Now, in terms of characters, I think it will be interesting if somehow Darius and Brooklyn kind of ends up together at one point, or at the least bit have like a big moment that they talk about what happened before she was murdered. So like just like a scene where she's still a supervillain, she's still working with Santos, but they have their own moment talking to each other about what happened there. I think it would give pretty much a lot of tension, and I think a lot of fans that notice Darius and Brooklyn that could potentially be a couple, it could probably make them really happy. And by them, I mean us, because I kind of noticed that from the first episode, going forward from the first season to the end of it. So obviously I was very much surprised that they chose for Brooklyn to end up with Kenji somehow. So if it's possible, I would love to see Darius and Brooklyn as an actual couple, or in some ways have like a big talk on how they feel about each other, because I think their dynamic actually would make more sense than her with Kenji. I feel like, I don't know, at one point I just feel like the dino nerd, like this nerd guy and this popular girl, the superstar, I think that dynamic works better than the rich kid and the rich kid together. So, yeah. Now, the next thing I want to see is Ben's girlfriend. So he says she lives in Europe. So how is the possibility of her being in Italy? Like, that would make a really good point, isn't it? Like, if they were just, you know, going to Italy, they're following Brooklyn, and they don't have a place to stay, and Ben's like, you know what, I'm gonna call my girlfriend, and we're gonna see her. Like, is it even possible that he actually has a girlfriend? I don't think it's even possible at one point. Honestly, I think the entirety of the fandom kind of agrees. If he were likely to date someone, he would probably have a boyfriend. So, yeah, I'm very interested in his love life that not much of the fandom actually believe he has. But I mean, at one point, we gotta admit it could probably be true, because he did talk about her a bit with Yas, and yeah, it does sound real at one point. We don't know, so yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But I really would love to see her appearance at the least bit, like have a little talk with her or something, or he'll call her, or like text her or something. I don't know, I just want a little appearance on that. Now, the next thing I want to see in terms of characters is Yasmina and Sammy. So, I mean, they're like a cute couple, Everett and everything, but I think we all kind of noticed that there's been definitely some stuff happening in between the events of, you know, Brooklyn's death and in this time frame where she's living in Texas and Yas is in Wyoming studying and making holographical therapy. Like, I mean, there's got to be some kind of stuff happening there that we are not hearing about yet, and I think there should be a little more dive on Sammy and her parents as well, because there's no way, like, I mean, I can't think of a good reason why they would not talk to her anymore. Like, there's got to be some stuff in there that ties into the story. And I know how much Sammy loves her family, and I think it's possible that if she kind of had problems with her family, she could probably push Yats away or something like that, because they do act a little bit weirded out as they're first meeting each other, probably after a while in Wyoming. Alright, now the next character I'm going to talk about, obviously, is Kenji. I mean, we all know, and it's established and clear that he's pretty much in denial about, you know, everything's going on. He's trying to cope with sarcasm, like always, duh. But I think that should probably be resolved in season 3, and by that I don't mean like turn him back into normal, but I think one of them really have to talk to him, and in ways that he'll listen, you know? Like, I mean, we all know that he's got some beef with Darius at the first season, so like maybe it's not the best moment. Him talking to Yas probably would be nice, but we still didn't actually get that in season 2. I actually think it will probably happen. This is one of the things I think will actually happen, which is all the people in their friend group trying to sort out Kenji. Like, why is he keep risking himself into death? Like, running through fire, jumping out of a ship, reaching his hand to grab a phone in a hippo's mouth. Like, that's not something you do when you're normal. No, I mean, like, this whole friend group has been through some serious traumatic stuff, and I think a lot of them have to talk to each other about all these things. Like, it's crazy the amount of things they go through involving dinosaurs. I mean, like, for Kenji, for example, I mean, having a dad that was kind of a villain that wanted dinosaurs to fight each other while, you know, dinosaurs have microchips in their head. He was put in prison, and then he was murdered by evil raptors controlled by an evil lady who shaved her eyebrows. It's crazy. It's beyond crazy. I think there's got to be some sort of serious therapeutic talk somehow. Like, I mean, in my own head, I just imagine all of them in therapy, but then for season 3, I think it's kind of the best if they just kind of get Yas or one of the characters to talk to him, or they could make it like really, really sad and have a moment where Brooklyn's trying to help him, but at the same time he's still believing she's a villain. Like, how sad would that be, right? Now, what I would love to see in season 3 is a flashback of Brooklyn's funeral. I mean, we've seen her dad's before, so they could potentially just like have them up there as well. How heartbreaking would it be if you just have like a funeral scene where all of the camp fam are there together staring at her grave? It's gonna be so sad. It's gonna be such a sad scene, but I think it would just make more impact in a way that of how sad it actually is for them to kind of lose her, because I think we all know that it's sad for them, but doing that would just like double, triple the amount of pain all the audiences are going through. Like, I just know it would be so sad. I think we need a flashback on that as well. Alright, now flash forward, I want to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth for a bit. I think we all know that there's not a big chance that Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard would probably come back as, you know, as Owen and Claire. Honestly, I think their story is kind of already ending. By the end of Dominion, they seem to have everything sorted out. I don't think they would have a role in Rebirth. I don't know about the casting or anything about that yet. I just know that Scarlett Johansson's gonna be in it and Jonathan Bailey's gonna be in it, and that's really all I know at this point. So I'm not sure about how that's gonna work yet. But if they are in it, I think it would be really cool if you could also somehow find a way to make a reference out of the new like the new Blur 6. Because, I mean, Jurassic World Rebirth, right? It's a whole, I mean, they live in a world with dinosaurs now. It works on a completely different way than how it works in Is a Nublar. I think it would be cool if they made just like a little reference of like, those kids survived an island full of dinosaurs. So like, the world it has dinosaurs now, so we're all gonna have to survive like that or something like that. Like, I want a reference in the live action movie about the show so bad. Or even, I don't think this could ever be possible, but honestly, I would love for one of the voice actors to have an actual scene, an actual cameo in the movie. I don't think that could possibly be possible because there's still like a 3-year time jump between Rebirth and Chaos Theory, but I don't know, I think it could be interesting if Chaos Theory ends at season 3 or ends at season 5, which probably would be after Rebirth is released. I don't think that timeline would work quite well, but if it ends at season 3, I think they could line the timeline up for how it's going to work in Jurassic World Rebirth. They could have a reference or an actual cameo of one of the voice actors. My money is on Darius because the voice actor of Darius actually is the same age as Darius, and they look so similar as well. Like, they all look like characters actually. So I think it could be cool if they just kind of gave him like this little scene where, you know, he's talking about surviving there or whatever, or even at the least bit like have a photo of the new Blur 6 and use the photo of the cast members as the characters, and just like have that, you know, as like on the newspaper or something, or even on a TV show, on the radio, whatever. Like, I really want like a scene in a new movie where we hear about the camp fam, or like, I mean, it's gotta be a famous thing in their world, right? Like 6 kids, 6, 13, and 15 years old who survives an island filled with the most scariest of dinosaurs. And I think it definitely wasn't big news in their world where dinosaurs are now running free, roaming throughout the cities and everything. I think they should probably be mentioned somewhere. I think it would just be really cool. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the end of my little theories, my little chaos theories, and a lot of stuff I hope to happen in the Jurassic World saga, because honestly there's a lot of them, and I know a lot of fans are kind of irritated about different stuff that happens in newer movies. So let's just wait and see how Rebirth is going to work and how season 3 of Chaos Theory is going to work. Because personally, I am enjoying the TV show more than I am enjoying those movies. So we'll see how any of these things work at all in any way. But yeah, I'm just excited for all these stuff. And it's actually really soon. July 2025 is 7 months from now, and in season 3 I think we'll probably get that in a few months time, so it could be in March, and it will just be in a while. Really just excited for that completely. Alright guys, I'm talking in circles. Okay, bye everyone.